Hi, Chimichanga PB&J Blobs. So today is super exciting because we're starting a new historical fiction book called Joshua's Song by Joan Hyatt Harlow. This is a really great book, and I think you guys are really going to love it because it hits close to our Elliott School home. But to start, I thought I'd give you some background knowledge on your time period so that you get a better understanding of what your book's about and what your character goes through. So Joshua's Song is set in the year 1919, Boston. So Boston back in 1919 was still getting a lot of immigrants coming in from all over the place. There's also a lot of different things going on, like some strikes and some incidents, and there's a lot of issues that your character is going to face. This book touches on some tough issues, including child labor, having to work as a young kid, death, and the Great Molasses Flood, which happened right in the North End, which was due to an explosion of a molasses tank. So those are the big issues your character is going to face. Your main character's name is Joshua, and Joshua is a singer, and he has a very high soprano voice, which sounds super beautiful, and he's really well known for it. But after the death of 13-year-old Joshua's father, his Boston mother has to take in boarders, which Josh has to call his aunt and his uncle to throw off the neighbors so that they can try to get some money. And the boy has to quit school in order to help his mother start to make money. So what he does was he becomes a newspaper boy. There's a newsboy kingpin Charlestown Charlie, which is someone who's in charge of the newspaper from Charlestown, and he's a tough Irish immigrant. And he is going to press Josh into service as his newsie, the person delivering news. Josh is also hired to sneak story leads to their boarder, Uncle Mark Muggeridge, an editor for the Boston Traveler. Throughout this whole story, you're going to see Josh traveling as the newspaper boy, but he's also dealing with some other issues. He's dealing with the loss of his famous soprano voice, which is a talent that made him known even to the mayor. And he refuses to sing even at his dad's funeral until he shares his gift to help the victims of the molasses flood. So readers, you have a lot of things going on in this book, but I want you to keep in mind that one thing that might be confusing is the way that they're going to have to call the boarders who are going to stay with him and his mother. They're going to call them aunt and uncle, but they're not really their aunt and uncle. It's really just going to be part of their story, and they're trying to hide the fact that they have people living in their home so that mom can make some money. There's also going to be a lot of talk of that kingpin. So newsboy Charlestown kingpin Charlie. So make sure you keep in mind who that person is. He's a tough Irish immigrant who wants Josh to be his newsie. All right, guys, get started.